What? Right. Hang on. Right. All right, heavy boxing shed. Let's see what's actually in it. All right, big box. So let's start with that and I'll tell you what's in here as we go along. Yeah, all right, let's open this massive thing. Oh, again. And it's out the box. This is the Oscal PowerMax 6000. And if you grew up in the 80s like me, this sounds like a product out of RoboCop.
Sunblock 5000. Protection for the new age.
It really does, but there's a reason for the name, I think. Anyway, before we start testing it and turning it on, etc., well, I have turned it on, but you know, using it, let's just go through all the plugs and all the ports, because there's a lot going on with this thing. First of all, of course, there's a display here that tells you input, output, etc. This is a light. So if you hold in this button here, there's a light. That could be really, really useful. I think that's a nice addition. I quite like that actually. It's just handy. Light, we always need more lights. I'll turn that off again. Then we have the AC compartment or AC section, and there are 4 AC plugs here. If you're in Japan or US, you get 3, I believe, but in Australia we get 4. And yeah, I haven't seen this before. These are 240 volts, or 210 to 240, but they are 20, 30 amps, which is a lot of power. But that might have something to do with this being a 6,000 watt output unit, hence the name, PowerMax 6000. So you can really power some, you know, greedy, hungry equipment with this. So yeah, there's 4 of those here. I think the last one is probably the 30 amp. It doesn't actually tell you. That would be nice though, to know which one was what. Then there's the first of the DC parts of it here. There's a normal 12 volt, you know, DC component there. Then there's like a mini Anderson thing that goes to 12 volt, 30 amp to like 600 watts. That's pretty good from an Anderson type connector if you want to use that. And then there's this sort of DC arrangement here with negative and positive, I'm assuming. Doesn't actually tell you. Maybe there's just 2 DC chargers. I'm not, yes, not 100% sure. But these are just standard DC plugs that you get with most electronics equipments, I would say, that runs on DC. Yes, and then there is the USB section. There are 2 USB-C plugs, which are 100 watts each. And then there is one 12-volt USB-A, and then 3 fast-charging 18-watt USB-A connectors as well. So there's a lot of ports out here. There's a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi button, but we'll get to that later when we look at the app. And that's just the front of it. Yeah, let's have a look at the side and the back. Then on the back, there is all the inputs. So these are the way to charge the PowerMax 6000. And we have the standard XT60 plug here, which usually comes from solar. So 25 amps, 12 to 60 volt DC. I've used this with solar panels. There's a button for fast charging or slow charging. I don't know why you would do slow charging, but yeah, you can. So that's probably to, preserve the batteries, condition or something. Then there is a reset button in case it trips, and then there is a 210 to 240 volt input for your normal power socket. So those are sort of the main 3 ways you can charge it. It does come with 2 cables for the input, one from the MC4 connectors you usually get from solar panels, and one with a 12 volt that you get in your car. So yes, if you are He-Man, you can put this in your car and charge it as well. So that's the back of it. And then on the side here, which is sort of also the front, because that's where the handle is for dragging it along. Anyway, there is another hatch, and these are extensions. So you can actually buy more of these batteries, of the Oscal batteries range, and you can plug them into here so you can have like a whole bank of them. I think you can put up to 6 extra or 6 in total, something like that battery. So you get this huge battery bank for, I don't know what you would be powering with it, but you can. So these are extension ports as well. So yeah, even more ports. And then as I just alluded to, there is also a handle. So you can actually put it like that. It's got feet on the bottom, side, whatever. And really nice, because this is 46 kilos. It's beefy. So yeah, thank you very much for putting a handle on it, which means we can take it away. I'm just going to charge it and then we'll actually use it and do the thing. Yes. Welcome to our garden shed slash workshop slash everything. After the fires, this shed was the only one that survived. You might have seen that in previous videos. Don't ask me how, but completely untouched. But it does mean that this is the only place we have anywhere to work outside, unless you want to be in a container, which no one was. Yeah, so this has come in handy in here because now we actually have a power supply for this shed. Yes, we have to charge it occasionally, but I'll get to that in just a second, how actually that can be done in situ as well. But something like just having an extension cord in, so we have power points. Even if it's not used, just having power in the shed is super useful. Charging batteries, yes, I know charging one battery from another battery is silly, but this is a much bigger battery. These are for the cordless drills, tools, whatever. Really, really, really useful having power in a shed. And something like, we've been restoring a lot of tools that have been restored, saved from the fires, using this thing, just plugging it in occasionally, just having that extra plug, because there's obviously 4 plugs, which is super useful. And then this should now be on. Let's see. Hey, it goes. So yeah, in a workshop without power yet, the Oscal has been very, very useful. Just another little help in how we try and restore the farm and rebuild everything. So speaking of charging, I showed you on the back of here that there's 240 input, which is what I did to charge initially, but there's also an XT60 plug, which is what the solar panels use. So here's my famous 500 watt solar panels that I've used, here. I've used them at the tennis court shed. I've used them at the pump shed as well, very early on. And they just provide magnificent free power. So right now it is charging at 44 watts and it's overcast. So even when there's no sun, these are still working and we can charge it that way. When there's full sun, and this is a 3600 watt hour battery, well, if you charge it 500 watts, 7 hours, 8 hours. So a couple of days or even a day sometimes. And we have a full battery. So you don't only have to charge it with mains power because we can't, point in case. But yeah, solar panels, they work a treat. We are now at the building site for the future house. They're replacing my office and studio, etc. And there's nothing here, zero. There's literally nothing growing either. There's little tiny bits of grass that started growing after 6 months, but there's nothing here, no power, no nothing. So when we start, we're going to be using this. And what we're also using it for, obviously, is to make cups of teas, because this has 6,000 watts of output. So putting a kettle on that uses 1,866 watts is no big deal. It's pretty amazing. There's so much power on this thing. And it doubles as a table for the little thing. So yeah, I think it makes sense to have a tea break once in a while. All right, I don't drink a lot of coffee, but tea, oh, there we go. Nice and hot. It's brilliant. And no, I'm not going to drink it right now. It's too hot. Yeah, very good. So I've lowered the lights for you because I want to show you the light on this thing because it's actually kind of useful. Now, I made sure there's a little bit of light. There's like a light behind you so that you can see me. But you can see it lights up nicely. You can see all the buttons that are on. So I can then press the light here and I hold down the button and it's pretty bright. It's pretty good. But there's a party trick. If you press it, it gets brighter and you can keep pressing it. Then there's like a distress sort of, you know, this is actually SOS, I believe. It's Morse code. We'll get to Morse code in just a minute when we look at the app. But there's if you want to give someone epilepsy, I guess. And there's like a pulsating light. Not sure what that's good for, but it looks nice. And is that it? Yep, and then we go the whole cycle again. So it's actually quite useful. You can see you light up quite a bit. The light is very useful and it does last forever. I think from memory, what is it saying? We get 47 hours. So 2 days it can light up. So if you're camping, for example, very handy having that, you know, yeah. So that's the light at night. Yeah. Anyway, there's more to come. Of course, this channel is about smart home and automations and all things tech. So yes, there's an app for the Oscal as well. And I have it here. Now, it's not your average app, as I found out. Oscal doesn't actually have their own app. This is the Smart Life app from Tuya. Yes. So I haven't figured out how to get this into Home Assistant. Not sure I will. But anyway, if you have experience with the Smart Life app, because I've only used the Tuya app, but they're both made by Tuya, go figure. That's it. But you can see here it is connected. We have 96% power left. It says it's 13 degrees. Don't know if that is internal temperature or external, because it is about 13 degrees. That's not too far off. It might be based on location too. Anyway, I got caught off guard there. So it's a very simple app. There's not much to it. We can of course turn things off. So AC is on right now. We can also turn on DC. There we go. Beep beep. And turn on. There we go. DC is on, etc., etc. And we can set the LED light status, which is on, very bright, SOS, flashing, breath, and cancel. So there's different ways that you can use the light, as you saw just before as well. But you can control it through the app as well. One thing we can do, of course, is it is live. So if I start the kettle again, like this, we should see the wattages go up. There we go, 1,897 watts, 92 watts, thereabouts. So that is a live view of how much power it's using, which can be useful if it's on the ground and you're on the roof or something like that. You want to see what's happening. That's going to make noise now. I'm just going to turn that off again. The only thing with this is that it's a little bit, the design is a little bit meh, I think. It cuts off the bottom of the numbers there, but I mean, I don't really care. It works. We have some settings, very, very basic settings. We can put beep on or off. I always take the beeps off. And then we have temperature and Morse code. Yeah, Morse code. So we can write a message here such as, hello YouTube. And we can confirm that. And now this should start flashing. There we go. That's Morse code for hello YouTube. Which, okay, sure. Why not? I don't think I would ever use it, but that's a kind of a fun feature. Discharging settings, charging limits, etc. We can set all that. There's a screen timeout, there's a standby time, battery pack details. So yeah, we can add more batteries, as I mentioned at the start of the video. I don't have any, but you could see that there. And then there's just the software version. That's about it. So the app is super simple. I kind of appreciate that. I don't need a whole lot of stuff in an app necessarily. But yeah, it's in Smart Life, which I didn't expect. And in case I didn't mention it, it doubles as a bench as well. It's very handy. But that's the Oscal 6000 PowerMax. It still sounds like something out of RoboCop 1 in 1984, whenever it was. If you don't remember those ads, go look them up. It's hilarious.
It's back. Big is back, because bigger is better. 6000 SUX, an American tradition.
I like it. Well, what do I like? I like the fact that it has 6,000 watts of output. I probably never got to 6,000 watts of output, but that means that's perfect. I never had to think about it. I just plugged in whatever, kettles and drills and heat guns, whatever. Anything that was power hungry, it'll actually handle. And because I've got 4 power points, I never ran out of those either. Very handy. It's very useful with the USB-C. I don't use USB-A much anymore, if I'm honest. I don't know why there's 4 of them on there. That's probably overkill, sure. The light's fun. I've used it a little bit at night, but it's not. It's hard to direct it because it weighs 46 kilos. We'll get to that in a second. The app on the phone is pretty good. Very, very basic. I like the fact that it runs in Smart Life, to be honest. We don't need another app for another device. So I don't mind that at all. Maybe fix up the UI a little bit, but that's about it. Now, the weight. I get that it's 3,600 watt hours of power. It's a lot of batteries, but I also think that it's its downside and its upside. It's heavy. It's hard to move around. I don't actually use it too much. If it's on the ground like this, I don't use the wheels itself because they're too small. I put it on like a trolley, like a sack truck type thing, and wheel it around that way. It's hard to lift. It takes 2 people to lift it. So it's sort of a device that you put somewhere, like at a building site, and you use it from there. It's not super mobile. It does have wheels, but they're more meant for smooth surfaces. Yeah. So, but what do you think? Let me know. I still have my cup of tea. I'll be waiting for your comments about what you might use the Oscal for. And of course, if you're interested in getting one, as always with the videos, that's why they send it for review, there's a link down below. And depending on when you see the video, there might even be some discount, a good deal on it. Because it's worth it. It's orange. What more do you want? So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.